And as we get started, I'll let you know that we will be using a resistance band of some kind today, if you have one. If you didn't, you could use a yoga strap, but a resistance band would be quite helpful today. And we're going to begin lying down. So let's make our way over to our mats. And we're going to begin with our mindfulness practice. So we're going to try to draw our awareness to our present moment experience. So when we practice mindfulness, we really want to focus on what we're experiencing in the here and now. Because we find that when we get anxious or upset, it's usually because we're focusing on what's ahead or on something that's already over. So learning to focus our attention on the fullness of our present moment experience can really calm us, get us more calm, centered, even keeled. So we want to practice that. So let's pay attention to the feeling of our bodies. Notice what your body is feeling like as you lie down. What are the experiences that you're experiencing? Maybe you notice a little tweak or a little, if you got something going on physically in your body that's maybe giving you a little challenge or difficulty, maybe your awareness is on that. Maybe your awareness is on, the temperature, like you're a little cold or you're a little warm. But usually if there's something unpleasant, that's where our attention goes first. So then maybe notice the things that are pleasant that you're experiencing. The nice support of the floor, the way the body is relaxing. Let's take a moment to bring our mindful awareness to what it feels like to relax the roof of the mouth. Inviting the roof of the mouth to soften and broaden and relax. How does that feel? And then let's spend some time just practicing focusing our awareness on our breathing. With full awareness on the feeling of the breath as it flows into your body and as it releases out of you. See if you can just focus on that. And if your mind wanders away to thinking about something other than your breath, just kindly, gently bring your focus back to your breath. This is not complicated, but that doesn't mean that it's easy. The mind wants to wander. Just bring it back to focusing on your breath. The breath really is an amazing thing. How fortunate we are to be able to breathe. Breathing deeply, especially now when we recognize that breathing is challenging for many people. So one more mindful breath. And then we'll begin to move into our movement practice. And I want us to see if we can keep our awareness on our present moment experience. So really focusing on each movement and how that feels. And then therefore like modifying things so that they're right for you. That might mean working a little more strongly. That might be you're just right where you are, or that might be easing off or modifying a bit. So let's really pay attention to what we're doing, because this is such the greatest thing about yoga. I was doing a workout with my daughter the other day and she hurt herself because we were chatting and we were not paying attention. And it just reinforced how wonderful yoga is because we pay attention. So as you're lying back, actually we don't need our bands yet. Let's hug our knees in and sway a little bit. Yeah. All right, how does that feel? To sway a little back and forth with your knees hugged in. One side of the sacrum, other side of the sacrum. This always feels really nice for me, for my low back. And then we're just going to take our knees kind of above the hips. Your arms can be at your side. Let's just loosen up the feet and ankles a little bit. Circle them around. Wiggle your toes. Circle the other way. And then I want you to imagine that you're going to bicycle now. So you're going to actually like circle your feet around like you're pedaling a bicycle, right? We all know how to bicycle. And we're just circling the feet around like we're in a very upright bicycle, sitting straight up on our seat and pedaling. And then pedal backwards. We used to do this on our bikes when we were kids. Pedal backwards. You might take a moment to think about that action. Yeah. Okay, so pedal forward again. And then begin to take your pedal a little further away out in front of you. And you'll notice that your low belly has to work here to support your legs moving a little more forward. And let's go backwards with your legs this far away from you. And if this is straining your back, then bring your knees more straight up from your hips again. And then pedal forward. And would it work for you to bring your legs even further away? So it's almost like a swimming motion. And then let's pedal backwards. So maybe this feels right for you to have your legs further away. Maybe you want to bring your knees closer towards straight up. What feels right for you? Great. All right, let's just bring the knees back. Well, let's actually give the hips a break. We'll put the feet on the floor. We're going to lift our heads up, clasp our hands beneath the head. Let the weight of the head rest back into the hands. We'll take a breath in. Exhaling, we'll knit the ribs down into the belly and curl up head, neck, and shoulders. Let's then reach our hands forward. So we're reaching toward the knees, and see how you can knit your ribs in a bit more as you do that. And then bring your hands back and lower your head down. Again, we're going to knit the ribs on the exhale and curl up, and then reach your arms up toward the ceiling. And again, see if you can knit your ribs in a bit more as your arms reach up. And then you can hold your head as you lower down. Again, we're going to curl up, knit the ribs, and reach toward the knees. And then come back. And then we're going to curl up and reach up toward the ceiling. Each time thinking about knitting the ribs into the belly. And then lower down. One more time, we're going to curl up and reach toward the knees, knitting the ribs. And then lowering down, breathing. And then exhaling, curling up and reaching toward the ceiling. And then releasing back. So your head can rest on your hands on the floor. And then again, we're going to bring our knees up over our hips. We'll lift our heads a little bit off the floor. And we're not going to move the legs, but we're going to take a breath in, exhale and curl up. And then we're just going to twist across, elbow to knee and go back. Come up, twist across, elbow to knee and go down. Come up, twist across. So we're not, usually we do this and we extend one leg out, but this time we're just going to focus on the upper body. So as you come up and twist across, think about bringing your ribs to the opposite thigh. You know, you're bringing your elbow toward the knee, but think about twisting through your trunk. So you're twisting left rib to right thigh, and you're twisting right rib to left thigh. And we'll do a few more of these. You can exhale as you twist across and inhale as you go back. Really activating those twisting muscles coming across. All right. All right, release your head, release your feet. We're going to roll to the side and we're going to come all the way around to all fours. And as we make our way to all fours, I want us to find our resistance band and we're going to place it underneath our hands. So we end up with our hands, wrists right beneath our shoulders and that band underneath, and our knees right under our hips. And for a moment, we're not going to do anything with the band. We're just going to think about having a nice long spine, our gaze down at the floor, so the back of the neck nice and long. Let's begin to let the belly drop down. So as your belly drops down, your hips kind of tip up. And then can you let your rib cage kind of drop down? Maybe you feel a little stretch because we worked those abdominals a little bit here. So as your belly drops down, your back begins to arch. And then let's begin to draw the heart forward and look forward and breathe in. And then come to flat back. And then we'll start to drop the tailbone down and round through the back, pushing into the hands, releasing the head. Let's take the hips a little bit back as we do this. And then rock the hips forward. Staying rounded, do that again. Take your hips a little bit back and rock forward. And come back to your flat back. All right, we're going to take the band and hold it in one fist with your hand just a little outside of your mat. And we're just going to take the arm straight out to the side. So thumb down with your fist. And then just touch the ground and then straight out to the side. And lower it down and straight out to the side. And lower it down and straight out to the side. Now, as you lower it down, bring it back by your knee and bring it straight back and lower it down. Bring it straight back and up and lower it down. Straight back and up and lower it down. Straight back and up and lower it down. All right, you can stay where you are. I'm just going to turn so you can see my arms better. We're going to do it with the other arm. So we're going to start with it just outside of the mat. We're going to lift it straight out to the side and lower it down. And there's, the nice thing about the bands is you can really adjust the amount of resistance. You might need a little more, you might need a little less. And then take that hand back by the knee and lift the arm straight up and back and bring it down. Lift it straight up and back and bring it down. So you're working the shoulder and there's a little bit of engagement in the core here. Lift it straight up and back and one more time like that. Great. All right. Well, you can put the band, leave it where it is, and we're just going to sit back into child's pose. You can lower your head to the floor or onto your bent arms. Take a moment to cultivate mindful awareness. How are you feeling? Just right here, right now. Just connect with your breath and your body. Let's lift our heads up now, and we're going to prepare for down dog. And I want you to, again, kind of have the band under your hands. Hopefully that won't make them too slidey. We're going to come up to down dog. That band, hopefully that works for you to have it under your hand and you still feel solid and steady grounding through your hands. Knees a little soft, hips drawing way up and back. Head can kind of shake and dangle. Create a little space between your shoulder blades. Move your hips back, maybe a little side to side. Let's bend a knee and pedal a heel down. And bend the other knee and pedal the other heel down. And then we're going to bend both knees, take the hips way up and back. How does that feel to extend your spine by lifting your hips up? Take a deep breath. Let it empty all the way out. And then can you bring the band with you as you walk your hands back towards your feet and you end up folded over bent knees. Take a breath into your upper back. Allow the breath to release out of you. And with your feet grounded, draw your belly in. Begin to roll yourself up and bring your band with you. As you roll yourself up and stack your spine and eventually bring your head up, then we're going to turn and face our device. And we're going to stretch out the arms with the band. So, you can adjust how much resistance you have. We're going to bring the arms out in front, take them out wide, and then bring them forward. We're going to open out wide and bring them forward. Open out wide and bring them forward. Then let's take our arms up in the air. So just kind of reach up and have a little bit of tension here. So grounding through the feet, reach up and lift up. Lift the sideways, lift the ribs, pull it a little bit apart, and then either bring it down in front of your chin or take it behind your head, pulling down and then go back up. So you might be here if it bothers you to go behind the head, or you might be here if that works for your body, or you could alternate in front of your chin and behind. If you need to take your head forward to go behind the head, just do it in front of your chin. You can do that a few more times. Get the shoulders going here. Warm, working. And then with your arms up in the air, you can have maybe, a little wider stance if you like. We're going to reach up and over. So stretch the straight arm up as the other arm kind of pulls out to the side. Take a breath and then come back up. Reach up and over. That straight arm reaching up. Take a breath into that side and then come back out. And then we're going to try a little bit of circles. So this left arm can go back, the right arm can go forward, and we're going to circle it down and around. That right arm can go back, that left arm can come up. So we're just going to kind of play around with a little rotation in the upper body as the arm goes up and back and around and circling forward and back and up and around and circling forward. Let's go the other way. So back and up and around, and then circle forward and back and up and around, and circle forward. One more time in this direction. Just working a little bit on shoulder mobility here. How does that feel? Sometimes some of us have some shoulder issues where we have to really be careful and mindful about how we move. So that's what we're trying to do, paying attention. So we're going to come to the front of our mat. And as we're standing here, I'm going to, I'll show you here. So arms out in front. I want you to take one arm, probably the arm closest to your device, and pull the elbow back, kind of like a bow and arrow kind of thing. And as you do that, turn your torso in that direction towards your device. And then turn forward. And then take that straight arm out to the side and turn your torso in that direction. And bring the arm forward. So you're going to pull the elbow back and twist, and then bring the arm forward and pull the arm out to the side and twist. So as we're twisting, the hips stay forward, but the upper body, the ribs, the chest, the shoulders twist, and then bring it forward and then out to the side and forward. And then same thing on the other side. I'll just turn, but you guys can stay as you are. Pull back and twist, away from your device, and then bring the arm forward. Take it out to the side and twist, and then bring the arm forward. Pull it back and twist, and bring the arm forward. Pull it out to the side and twist, and bring the arm forward. One more time, pull back and twist, and bring the arm forward. Pull it out to the side and twist, and forward. All right, relax your arms down. We're still standing at the front of our mat. We're going to inhale with that strap, just reach up, and then we're going to swan dive forward. So you can bend your arms, do whatever you want. Come into a forward fold here. And just let your head dangle for a moment. Let your arms be loose and relaxed, kind of ragdolly here. And then you can put your strap down and place your hands over it as you step back to downward facing dog. So take a deep breath here as you draw your hips way up and back. And then lower to straight arm plank. Pull your crown of your head forward as you reach back through your heels. Feel the strength all the way through your body and take a breath. All right, so we're gonna have the option to drop the knees back behind us, like right where they fall. Or if you need to make it a little more easy, you can bring your knees under your hips. And for a greater challenge, you could have your knees off the floor. We're going to take one hand, and like we did before, we're going to reach it out to the side, and then we're going to reach it straight back. We're going to reach that arm out to the side, and we're going to reach it straight back. And one more time out to the side, and then straight back. And then we're going to do that with the other hand. So with your hand a little bit outside of your mat, lift it out to the side, and then lift it straight back. And lift it straight out to the side, and then lift it straight back. And one more time out to the side, and then straight back. Good. All right, push your weight back onto your knees so that you can put your band more in the middle of your mat so that you can, when you come forward, you're gonna lie down with the band under your hips. All right, so you got the band properly placed, but then I want you to push back to knees and take your hips back a little, and then come forward and lower yourself down. So we're doing some push-ups. Pushing back to knees, taking the hips back, coming forward and lowering yourself down. And we'll do a few more of these. Just bearing the weight of the body with the strength of the muscles of the shoulders here. Couple more of these. You're doing great. Let's do two more. And after this next one, we'll stay down. As we come down onto belly, let's reach back for the strap. So it's under our hips and we're holding it in our hands, and then we'll straighten our arms down at our side. So for right now, don't worry about your arms. Just think about length from toes to crown, and then start to pull your heart forward and lift your chest up into like a baby cobra here. So you're pulling your heart forward, you're extending or arching your back right up in the mid to upper back. Think about length, and then lower yourself back down. Then let's press our hips down and lift our legs up. So pressing down into that strap and legs lifting up, and then lowering the legs down. And then let's lift our arms up. So your fists are kind of facing your body and you're pulling up on that strap. You might need to adjust your tension for a little more, a little less. And then do that again. Just lift your arms straight up toward the ceiling and lower down. All right, let's again start with the upper body. So we're gonna lift the chest up as we lengthen, pull the heart forward and lower down. We're gonna press the hips down and lift the legs up and lower down. And then we're gonna lift the arms up and lower down. One more time in succession. We're gonna inhale and lift the chest up and exhale down. We're gonna inhale and lift the legs up, pressing the front of the hips down, and exhale down. And we'll inhale and lift the arms up and lower down. And I think you know where we're going next. We're gonna lift them all up. Lift the chest, lift the legs, lift the arms. Inhale and exhale down. Again, inhale, lift up and exhale down. Let's try the breath a little differently. Take a breath in first. And on your exhale, lift everything up. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift up. Legs, arms, chest. Inhale to lower. One more time. Exhale to lift. And then stay here for a breath. Maybe lifting a little higher. And then lower down. Nice work. Okay. Push back to knees. Take the hips all the way back to child's pose. Take a moment here to breathe and check it. Great. With your next inhale, you can, I want you to actually grab your band and then reach your arms forward. And then make your way to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out here. We're going to again walk our hands with our band back towards our feet. Once we're here, I want you to place the band under your feet, under like the balls of your feet. And then lower your hips a little bit. So you're sitting in a chair. And then we're going to pull. So as you're sitting in the chair, think about you're hinging from your hip. So you're not rounding your back at all. You're hinging, so your spine is long. But we have bent knees. And we're going to pull straight up and back and lower down. Pull, so you're lifting your elbows and lower down. Lift your elbows up and lower down. Lift your elbows up and back and lower down. Rolling up and back, lowering down. Pull up and lower. Pull up. So maybe you need a little more resistance, maybe you need a little less. Let's do 4 more. Pull up and lower. Pull up and lower. 2 more, pull up and lower. 1 more, pull up and hold it there. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And then push into your feet and legs and straighten yourself up. Yeah, so your arms are kind of pulling your shoulders down as you're standing tall. Can you relax your tailbone down and stand nice and tall? And as you're standing tall, kind of tuck your chin, bring your ears right back up over your shoulders. And I'm assuming you have a little pulling down tension on your arms. You're holding that band, so it's kind of pulling your arms down, pulling your shoulders down. So with that little bit of pulling down of the shoulders and your alignment really nice, just take your head and gently drop it over to one side, ear to shoulder. So you're getting a nice stretch in the side of the neck. And then take a breath. And then slowly, gradually, gently bring your head back to center. That chin is a little tucked in, those ears are back over the shoulders. And then you're going to gently let your head drop to the other side. Yeah. Just kind of lifting that ear up toward the ceiling. And then slowly, gently bring your head back up to center. Good. All right, so a little softness in your knees now, and you're going to take the strap out from under your feet. Great. All right. We're going to come and stand at the front of our mat, and we're going to do that flow again. So rooting down with your strap, we're going to inhale, arms overhead, and then exhale, arms forward. We're going to grab the band, and we're going to pull the elbow back and turn towards your device, and then come forward, and then straight arm out to the side, again turning and bringing the arm forward. So pulling the elbow back and turning, and then the arm is forward, pulling it out to the side and turning. Try to keep your hips forward and just rotate your upper body. Pull the elbow back, and then pull that arm out to the side. Other side, pull the elbow back and bring the arm forward, pull the arm out to the side, and bring the arm forward, pull the elbow back, twist a little bit, bring the arm forward, pull the arm out to the side, bring the arm forward one more time, pull the elbow back and twist, and forward, pull the arm out to the side and twist, and forward. All right, we're just going to soften the knees and fold forward, letting the arms hang, letting the head hang. Take a breath into your upper back. As we exhale, we're going to place the band down under our hands and step back to down dog. We're going to take a breath in and out here. And we'll lower to straight arm plank. So now option to have your knees underneath you, option to have your knees dropping behind you, option to be with your knees off the floor. Can we take the band and pull it up and down, and then pull it back and down? Pull it up and down, pull it straight back and down. One more time, pull it up and down, pull it straight back and down. And then other side, pull that band up and down, Pull it straight back and down. Pull it up and down. Pull it straight back and down. Last time, up and down and back and down. All right, let's all drop to knees. Place the strap, the band across the middle of your mat so that you can lower down, belly over it, hips over it. And then we're gonna push up. Now we could lift up to a full push-up and then pull back to bent knees and then do a full push-up down. Or we could just be pushing up to knees and taking the hips back. So some variation of push-up here. You might be pushing into a full push-up and just bending back a bit and then lowering all the way down. Or we might be using the knees, but we'll do a few more push-ups. Paying attention to how this feels in the body. What's right for you this morning? We're going to do 2 more. This next one will be our last one. And then we're going to end up lying down with that band underneath our hips. Yeah. And then let's grab the band, hold it, have it under your hips, holding it in your hands with your arms straight. Get nice and long, toes to crown, facing your gaze, facing right into your mat. Let's inhale and lift the chest up. Let's lift the legs up and let's lift the arms up. Nice locust pose with resistance. And then we'll lower down. Let's lift all 3 together. Lift up and lower down. Let's take a breath in and exhale and lift up. And lower down and breathe in. We'll exhale and lift everything up. Lower down and breathe in. 2 more times. Exhale and lift everything up. Inhale to lower. Last one. Exhale. Lift up. Let's hold here for a breath, in and out. And then lower. Nice job. All right, push back to knees. Take the hips all the way back. Sit back into child's pose. Take a moment here. Check in. And then lift your head up. Reach your arms out in front. Make your way to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. As you walk your hands back, grab your band, walk it in. We're going to put it under our feet again. We're going to lower the hips and we're going to hinge from the hips. So we're going to lengthen the spine. We got our hands holding the band and we're going to row up and down. Row, lift those elbows up and back and down. Row up and down. Row here. And row. And row. And 4 more. And 3 more. How's this feeling? 2 more. Last one. Now push into your feet and legs, straighten up. So there's a lot of tension on the band, pulling your arms down, dropping your shoulders down. Can you root through your feet and stand nice and tall? Think about broadness across the collarbones, knitting the ribs in a little bit, tucking the chin, ears over your shoulders. Take a breath in. Let one ear drop to one shoulder. Think about lifting the other ear up toward the ceiling. And then you can slightly take your head, your gaze, turn your head a little bit more up toward the ceiling, just a little. And then take your gaze more forward. And then take your gaze a little bit down toward the floor. And then back to center. And then straighten up. Find it really good posture here. Tucking the chin in, ears back over shoulders, but knitting the ribs so you're not arching your back. And then let the other ear drop to the other shoulder. Yeah. So the ear that's not dropped toward the shoulder, that ear is lifting up toward the ceiling. And then just slightly roll your head to look a little bit up toward the ceiling. And then back, bring your gaze forward. And then rotate your gaze just ever so slightly down toward the floor. And then bring your gaze again more forward. And then bring your head up. Great. Okay, bend your knees a little bit so you can take the strap out of there. Make your way to the front of your mat. This time, we're going to place one foot on the band. Maybe the foot that's further away from you, doesn't really matter. One foot on the band and big step back with your other foot. Big step back because we're going to do lunges here. So we're going to lift that back heel up. We want our feet hip distance apart. We're not on a narrow balance beam. We're going to bend the back knee down, bend the front knee, and we're going to bicep curl. And then we're going to straighten and lower. So you might need to adjust the resistance so that it's challenging to pull up, and the band wants to pull your arms down fast, but you're going to lower them slowly. Yeah. So you got to work to curl that band up, and you got to resist to lower it slowly. Curling up as you lunge, slowly lowering on the way down. Curling up. So you can adjust more or less tension as you go. You might decide that it's too easy and you put a little more resistance. You might decide that it's getting to be a little bit too much for you and you put a little less resistance. So paying attention to how this feels. Thinking about your lunge. Do you want to drop that knee a little further down? Do you want to push more into the front foot to straighten the leg? Focus on your experience in your body with this movement. And we'll do 4 more. Nice work. All right. Lower your arms. Now bend your front knee and lean forward. And we're going to do pressing back and lowering down. Pressing back and lowering down. Pressing back. We're just going to do 4 more of these. Straight arms, go straight back. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. Now you're going to want to hold your band pretty much at the ends because we're going to bring the weight onto the front foot. And if you can, lift your back leg up. We're going to straighten the front leg. You can lift your back leg a little bit. You could have your toe on the floor, or you could try and lift that leg quite a bit and tip forward into a balance. You could just hold the balance, or you could raise your arms out to the side and lower them down. Raise them out to the side and lower them down. We're just going to do 4 more of these and 3 more and 2 more. Hold it up here now. Last one. Hold it up. Take a breath. Good. Bend the standing leg. Step the back foot down. Straighten the front leg and step forward. Whew. Great. We're going to do that on the other leg. Step on it with the foot that wasn't stepping on it. Take a big step back. Big step. So that when you lift the heel and you bend that back knee, it feels like a good distance for bending the back knee down and bending the front knee. And as we bend, we're going to bicep curl. As we lower, we'll lower the arms. As we straighten, you know what I mean. All right. So we're curling and lunging, lowering as the legs straighten. And how's the amount of resistance on the band? Do you need a little more? Do you need a little less? Is it challenging to curl up? Is it challenging not to just let the arms go down quick? Can you resist the lowering? So you're working those bicep muscles concentrically and eccentrically as they lengthen and as they shorten. Yeah. Could you let that back knee go further down? Does that work for your knees, for your ankles, for your body, for your feet? We're all different. We're honoring our own body, our own experience here. We're going to do 4 more. You're doing great. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. All right, we're going to bend the front knee, lean forward. We're going to pull straight back and down, just 4 times. Whoa, pull straight back and lower down. Pull straight back and lower down. Pull straight back. All right, so you could stay here and lift out to the side. You could bring the weight forward. Could you straighten that leg? You could be on the back toe. You could lift the leg a little bit, or maybe you lift it a lot and hinge forward. You can just hold the balance and just pull out to the side, or we'll do 4 lateral raises. 4 and 3 and 2. This one, let's hold. Hold it out to the side, hold, take a breath, and then step back. Good job. Step in, take the strap off, come and stand facing towards me. Come into a wide stance. Let's turn the right foot in, turn the left foot out. And let's just bend and straighten the knee a few times. Do something that's a little less challenging. That was a challenging series, that last one there. All right, so let's do the other side. Turn that foot in, turn the other foot out, and bend and straight. Yeah, connect with your breath, connect with your body. Great. All right, we're gonna go around to that first side, and we're gonna place the band under the left foot. And you can drop the part that's in the back and hold this part that's towards your device. So back foot is turned in, front foot is turned out. We're going to bend this front knee, and then we're going to tip over. All right, so we've got this band here, and you're not going to want to have too much resistance, because what we're going to do is we're going to lift the elbow up, and then we're going to try and press up toward the ceiling. And then we're going to keep the elbow up as the hand comes down, and then we're going to lower down and turn towards the floor. So we're going to pull the elbow up like starting your engines, and then press the arm up, and then bend the elbow, and then rotate down. Pull the elbow up, rotate towards your device, press up, bend the elbow, rotate down. Lead with the elbow, rotate, press up, drop, down. Let's do a few more of these. Press up, bend, and lower, pull up, press up, bend the elbow. Just 2 more here. Pull up, press up, bend, and lower. This time as you press up, let's take a breath or 2 here. You're broadening from your bottom shoulder to your top shoulder. You're reaching up, pushing up with that arm. We'll take a breath here. Nice work. Then bend the elbow, drop the arm, push into that foot, rise up. You can take the band out. We're going to come around to the other side. And again, you're going to put it under your foot. The part that's behind your foot, you can let go of. So you've got this front part. We're going to bend the front knee, get nice and solid here. And then we're going to tip over. So we've got this arm on the bottom leg, then this top arm. We're going to have to play around with the amount of resistance so that we feel some tension as we lift the elbow, but it's challenging to straighten the arm, but you can do it. And then bend the elbow, and then chest to the floor. Lead with the elbow, turn, press up, bend the elbow, turn, face down. Lead with the elbow, turn, press up, bend the elbow, turn, face down. Bend the elbow, turn, press up, bend the elbow, lower down. Pull and press up, bend. 2 more of these. Lead with the elbow, turn and press up, bend, and lower. Last one, we're going to turn and press up. We're going to hold here. Can you broaden from your bottom shoulder to your top shoulder? Can you breathe in and out? Great. And then you can bring it down and come on up and take it out from under your feet and bring your feet together. Nice work. All right. Let's make our way down onto our mats. And we're going to come all the way down onto our bats. And we're going to place the band across the front of the hips and then just hold it in your hands. So your fists kind of pointing towards your body. So we're going to set up for bridge pose. Feet hip distance apart, heels in, closer to your bum, right under your knees. And then we're going to push down with the feet and let that action of pushing down with the feet invite the hips to rise up. Keep your hands pressing down. So you're pressing up against resistance. You're pushing your hips up into the band as your hands are holding down on the ground. And then lower back down. So you might want a little more or a little less resistance with your hands pulling down. Press into your feet and take your hips up and then lower back down. So you might feel a little more action in the hamstrings and glutes, pressing up against the resistance of the band and then lowering back down. Let's do a few more of these. Press up into that pulling down of the band and then lower down. And press up. Your hands stay on the floor. The sides of your fists stay on the floor. Let's do two more. Press up and lower down. This time press up. We're going to stay up for a bit. So can you pull down a little more with your hands as you push your hips up a little higher, push your knees and shins more forward. Take a breath. And then lower down. Nice job. All right, we're going to place the band around the ball of the foot. And then, so you got some stretchy resistance. Let's take the other leg, straighten it up. You can flop that bottom leg a few times. Okay, the leg that's up in the air, start to let it fall into the support of the band. So that leg is quite relaxed. Your arms are holding it up. The weight of the leg is resting into the band. And then with your hands, start to pull the leg back a bit and go really slowly till you get to the point where it's really difficult to keep your leg straight. Your knee wants to bend. Go right to that edge where if you were to go any further, either your bottom leg would lift off or your knee would bend. And right at that point, stay there. So it's different for all of us. Some of us, we get to this certain point and the knee starts to bend. So go right back, right to that edge, right where if you went any further, your knee would bend, and just hold that stretch. You could be kind of pushing your foot up into the strap, into that resistance of the band. And just breathe in and out here. Nice deep stretch. Good. You can put the two parts of the band in the same hand as the leg and just allow that leg to open out to the side. Try to keep the straight leg on the floor exactly as it is. Don't let that hip lift or the hips roll to that side. Just kind of open that leg out as far as you can keep the other leg grounded. Breathe in and out here. And then bring that leg back up. Okay, open the strap up, slide the other leg up, place the ball of the foot into the strap, lower the other foot down, and then straighten the leg on the right leg and bounce it a few times and then let it be nice and heavy. So the leg that's straight, we want it to stay down. We don't want that hip or that knee to lift up at all. Then the leg in the strap, let it fall away from you until it's totally being supported by your arms holding the band. So that leg is completely relaxed, resting into the support of the band. And then with your arms, so there's no work in the leg, with your arms, start to slowly, slowly, slowly bring the leg back. And for those who are tight in their hamstrings, you might get, wherever you might not get as far, you're going to get to a point where you can't really go any further without your knee bending. And sometimes we're not aware of where that point is, but really kind of try to pay attention. Where is that point where if I pull further back, I can't really keep my leg straight, my knee bends. And go right before the point where your knee bends and hold there and breathe deeply. And maybe you notice that you've got more mobility on one side than the other. But let's just breathe as we hold right at that edge where if we went any further, the knee would bend. And then put the two parts of the strap in your same hand as your leg and open that leg out to the side. And this leg that's on the floor doesn't change. That hip doesn't lift at all. The knee doesn't bend. The hip doesn't roll. See what you can do with the leg to the side, keeping the other leg down. And take a breath. And then bring that leg back up. Great. Now the leg that's on the floor, bend the knee and place the foot on the floor. The leg that's in the air, bend the knee and lower that ankle just below the bent knee, and then take the band off and set it off to the side. So you've got your your ankle resting on this bottom leg. Then we're going to pick the bottom foot up off the floor, bringing the legs in towards us. Let's flex the feet. Let's reach through between the two legs, reach around to that thigh that's further away, grab onto it to hug it in. You don't have to do anything with your arms. You could just hug your legs in on their own power, or you can grab and pull the legs in. And as you're hugging the knee in, or you're hugging the legs in, you could take the left elbow and push the left knee away a bit if you want. You could also take your legs ever so slightly to the right, maybe just an inch. It's not a big distance. And take a breath. And then come back and just an inch to the left. Might change how you experience that stretch into the hip. And then come back, maybe pull the legs 1 inch closer. Take a breath. And then release that bottom foot down. Release the other foot. Lift that leg up and drop the ankle just above the other knee. So that top knee, you kind of want it to be away as much as possible. We want to flex that top foot. And then we're going to lift the bottom foot up off the floor to bring the legs in. You could just be here, or reach one arm between the two legs, reach around with the other arm, clasp that thigh that's further away, pull in. And you could just be here, or you might take the legs just an inch to the left and take a breath. And come back to center, just an inch to the right, and take a breath. And come back to center. Maybe pull just an inch closer and take a breath. And then release the bottom foot, release the top foot. You might be craving one more movement, one more stretch before we move into our final relaxation. And then we're going to take a few moments to get nice and warm and comfortable so that we lie back in our Shavasana, our final pose, and we're warm and we're supported. We might have a blanket or a pillow. We might have something under our knees. We might put on a layer. We're just going to take these final few minutes and let all those muscles that we worked relax. We'll see if we can allow the whole body to experience relaxation, ease, an experience of being in a very natural, relaxed state. The more our lives distract us, consume us, the easier it is to become disconnected with how it feels to just be ourselves. We're spending a lot of time on devices these days, drawing our attention away from the body. This is our chance to really be in our bodies now, and just to allow our bodies to be as they are intended to be. I mean, they're intended to be able to work and respond and react when needed. But then we come back to this place where our muscles can drop into a state of ease. This is where we rebuild our resilience. The muscles that were just worked now are going to start to knit together and become a little stronger from the work that we've just done. We're just going to give them a chance to first come back to their state of ease. So the arms and legs relaxed, heavy. The hips resting into the floor, the belly softening now, unclenching, relaxing. Imagine the heart in the center of your chest, and just a sort of softening and opening, starting in the center and radiating out towards the shoulders, towards the floor, towards the ceiling. Just softening, opening from the center of your chest. As your head is heavy, resting back, feel the neck and the jaw relaxing, releasing. Feel the eyes resting back and your forehead softening and smoothing. Allow your mind to be like your body, relaxed, resting here. As you're lying back, I'm just going to share a nice little reading from Melody Beatty called Take Time to Be Pleased. She says, take time to be pleased with all the beauty in this world. Do more than drive by and casually notice a particularly beautiful stretch of scenery. Stop the car. Get out. Take it in. See it, smell it, touch it if possible. Absorb and feel the beauty you see. Then thank the universe for giving this moment to you. Take time to be pleased with your creations too. Your work, your life, yourself. Look around, then look again. Take time to see the beauty in your own life. Take time to absorb and be pleased with the beauty you see. Then take this gift to others. Take time to notice and really see all that is beautiful in the people you know. Then tell them aloud what they mean to you and how beautiful you think they are. Opening up to ourselves and the world means learning to recognize and absorb its beauty. Allow yourself to grow, to define and redefine what true beauty means and feels like to you. You may have deprived yourself of noticing beautiful sights too long. It's time to take those dark glasses off, appreciate the beauty around you. Our soul is nurtured and fed by taking pleasure in the beauty in this world. I thought that was a good reminder. So we can start to make our way out of our relaxation, or you're welcome to continue lying back. You might bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor. You might gently roll to your side. Take a little moment to transition before coming up to sitting. And you might choose to take a few moments for some quiet reflection, gratitude, or prayer. So grateful for the beauty that I see in each of you and the beauty of this practice that we share. Thanks for being here. Peace. And of course, it's nice to chat and hang out with our friends if we want. If we want to just head off, that's fine too.